Hello, thank you so much for joining me. It's ever so blustery out there, so I'm not risking recording outside, even with my little fluffy hat on my microphone. Um, my hair would be in my mouth, in my eyes, and everywhere as well. So, inside we are. And I want to talk about something that was triggered when I saw a news feed this morning. I didn't look into it. I just saw the picture of our Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, standing behind a lectern that said, "Fixing the foundations." And I assume from the headline underneath that he was talking about fixing the foundations of the society in Britain, following on from the riots, disturbances, call them what you will, that happened not very long ago. Yeah, not quite sure how they will start with that. It will be interesting to see. But I've also been decorating, catching up on what I was doing when the the magical post went on to YouTube and my subscribers went like that. So things have calmed down now. So I am going back to my decorating. Joy of joys. It will be done. But that led me, I was already thinking about that. Obviously, it's the preparation that's the important bit. That was drummed into me by my dad. So, yes, I removed the existing wallpaper, but then I filled in and smoothed over any cracks. Fortunately, there weren't too many. But I did that, and now I have almost finished the wallpapering. But it's that papering over the cracks, if you miss out that bit, that can cause problems. Just as with Keir Starmer, that if the foundations of society, just like the foundations of any structure, be it physical, human, whatever, if the foundations aren't strong, then you're on a sticky wicket there. So the two have tied in. And what can we do? How can we avoid papering over the cracks? And how do we avoid building on rocky foundations if we apply these to ourselves and our relationships? Obviously, we'll start with the foundations. When you first meet somebody, get to know them. Get to know what makes them tick. Get to know whether they're truthful, whether they tell lies, whether they are to be trusted, whether they're not to be trusted, whether you gel. All that is part of the foundation building of a relationship. Have they got the same sense of humour? Do they have the same sort of beliefs as you? And yes, sometimes opposites do attract, but you still need that firm foundation. But then if you carry on in your relationship and the cracks start to appear, papering over them, not a good idea. They are there, lurking, waiting to come out and bite you on the posterior, probably when you're least expecting it, because you think that by papering over them, by ignoring them, they've gone away. But they haven't. So if you have any difficulties in a relationship, be it a personal relationship, a marriage, a friendship-based relationship, a professional relationship, check on those cracks. Talk about them. Talk with the other people, the other person involved. See if it's just you seeing the cracks. See if they see the cracks as well. Okay, we know what they are. What are we going to do about it? And that might help moving on to, or not moving on to, let them. If you talk about the cracks and you resolve any issues, then the relationship might be back on an even keel. So long as there's still trust there, and so long as there's no harm there. If there's harm, no papering will ever solve those cracks. No matter how thick the paper, no matter how many layers you put on. If you are, excuse me, if you are being abused in any way, no, out of that situation, especially if there are children involved. You don't want children growing up in an environment in which they see one adult mistreating another. And yeah, it might be financial, where, yeah, go and get something and here you're just given the exact amount, or control. If a child can see that one adult is controlling another, what does that say to them about relationships? And that's where they learn how to form relationships. And that's a lesson that you don't want any child learning. So, have a think. What are the foundations of your relationship like? Are they strong? Are they firmly based? Or do you have to get the big mechanical digger out and underpin them? And are there any cracks in your relationship? If so, don't paper over them. Fix them with filler, and let that filler be words, shared words, not shouty words. Discussion. If necessary, couple therapy, if things are that bad. So consider this and see if you need to apply it to any of your relationships. So on that note, I'm going to say thank you for joining me. Take care, and I'll speak to you again soon. Sorry, there are people just passing by, giving me funny looks. Am I sitting talking to myself? No, I'm not. Cheerio for now. Bye.